no! Daniel Pratt's on fire!
Oh no! Quick, kick him in the river, put him out! Too bad he's still a stupid spot offer.
Well, good evening, and what can we tell you? President Joe Biden announced that he would give a free bottle of Bud Light to any holdouts who went and got the vax shot. President Obrador of Mexico announced that he also would give a bottle of Corona to anyone who got a vaccine shot. The day after, President Higgins of Ireland announced that he'd be giving out free bottles of water. Biden and Obrador, being confused, gave Higgins a call. Water? Why not Guinness? The Irish president replied, if you guys aren't giving out beer, then neither am I.
And over in Australia, a woman at a Guns N' Roses concert was reportedly injured when Axl Rose threw his microphone into the audience. But they did follow up with the encore singing One in a Million and Don't Cry.
Last night, there was an accident and Trump's personal library burnt to the ground. This is a huge catastrophe for the former president, as both of his books were lost, and so far, he had only colored in one of them.
What about his book about the hungry caterpillar? You'll never know the ending. Over 25 arrests were made in Germany this week of members of a right-wing group, Reichsbürger. With plans to storm the Reichstag and seize power, the detainees have been charged with plagiarism. Other right-wing groups have stated that it's very hard to come up with original ideas these days.
Rising fears that the Yuletide would not be made gay, New York Mayor Eric Adams reportedly institutionalized the real Santa Claus on Monday, leaving the fate of Christmas uncertain. Father Christmas was seized by New York police city officers who noted in their report that the man was babbling senselessly about possessing magical powers.
Oh, sorry. Right. Yes, photos
What
have
a
been
pro.
released. What a pro. Yeah. Hey, shut up. I'm here. Photos have been released from a tomb in Bulgaria, estimated to date back to 4,600 BC. The burial chamber contains the world's oldest gold jewelry discovered to date. Archaeologists are immediately questioning, what's that down there?
Dad!
The original Golden Cock Award, right there, fellow babies.
It's so tiny.
That's tiny. Oh, okay.
Oh, you gotta love it. Elon Musk announced plans to implant a Tesla inside a human brain. I am proud to share today just how much closer we are to the next step in the evolution of our species. Having a self-driving electric car in the head of every person walking down the street. Later, upon revealing he already had a Tesla implanted, Musk flashed his eye beams, emitted a loud honk, and tugged on his ears to signal left and right turns.
This week, Apple is rolling out its self-repair service to the UK and 7 other European countries on Tuesday. Not that the other countries count, but never mind. The tech giant helpfully informed that if the repair goes wrong, any existing warranty would no longer be valid. The service can be found on their website under "Do It Your Fucking Self."
Might as well.
Helpful to the end. Thank you, Steve. British World Cup attendees accused of smuggling alcohol into the stadium through their bloodstreams. Qatari authorities have said, we made the policy extremely clear beforehand, asking ticket holders from the UK to either sober up or stay home. FIFA announced that the British fans could still attend the World Cup matches as long as they empty out their veins in a trash can at the gate.
I'd still drink that. At Twitter headquarters, Elon Musk has converted many of the office spaces into bedroom boudoirs. This has alarmed most of the remaining staff at Twitter after Musk has stated that he wants them to go hardcore.
And those are the headlines, fellow babies, and now you know the reasons.
And welcome everybody to the Shills Friday Night Silly Show. And so back to the man, the MC, the mostest of the ghostest, the dickest with the dick. It's Dicky Dick Dawson.
I'm taking on my British persona tonight, and I will be therefore called Biggest Dickus.
Oh God! Don't ever do a British accent again, please. Just
Actually, no. I was trying to be just a more pompous, uptight Canadian.
Okay, a posh Canadian.
No
I don't think they exist.
No.
You can't have
Canadian.
posh and maple syrup. It just doesn't work. So we should open up, though, by talking about the little community guidelines strike issue that we are still actually fighting. We ended up having to do the full 7-day break that they forced upon us, and we're still fighting to get the strike removed. It's really nice, YouTube, that we can debunk somebody's video that's still up on your platform giving medical misinformation, and we're the ones that getting shit for it. Thank you very much. I love the attention to detail and the way you go the extra mile for your creators.
Oh, so we
Fucking
know
morons.
So you know specifically which video it was that we supposedly. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it took me some bullshit figuring out in the background, but I did finally get there. And that video is still up, and we're the ones in trouble. So figure me that. Yeah.
Are you allowed to publicly say which video is or who it is or anything like that?
I am not doing that until the strike is settled, because I could just be poking the bear one step too far. You know?
Yeah, so we wouldn't want, once we know and it can be announced, we wouldn't want anybody going out and saying anything to their channel. Of course, we never say that.
Yeah, no, exactly.
To do that. No, that's just the wrong thing to do, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So, we are going to do a thing coming up where we're going to, maybe on Twitter or Mastodon, or I don't know how many different fucking platforms people are on these days. I can barely keep up. But we're going to do a thing where, we encourage a few people to, maybe step up and have a word or two with Team YouTube on Twitter and so on, just to let them know how nice it is that the good guys who actually fight misinformation. I mean, for the love of fuck, man, it's in the title of the video that we're going at conspiracy theorists and woo peddlers. And all you have to do at the timestamp where YouTube thinks they caught us peddling misinformation, all you have to do is look at the goddamn YouTube chat, which is both live on our screen and available to the YouTube people as well. And you would see, just by the people watching the show, it's obviously not us pushing the bullshit. You fucking inept fucks.
Yeah.
Okay, rant over. I'm good.
I mean, is it? I mean, do we know whether it was actually reported by somebody, or was this a bot thing picked it up? Or
on that, I'm not 100% sure, actually, because YouTube did recently announce that they were dialing up searching for medical misinformation. So we might have been reported, but we might well have just got caught in a bot sweep. I'm not really sure.
It's just not going to tell you. Simple as that.
Yeah. No.
YouTube being as helpful as they always are.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just decided we don't like you anymore. We just don't like you. So, shut up.
I mean, how is it that YouTube has put me in the position where I now sit here talking like PJ CNET in the chat going, I've been squashed for misinformation. I mean, that's just not fair. Sorry, PJ, but it's a good analogy.
I think what's happened is you've been found chatting up Mrs. Tube at a bar somewhere, and Mr. Tube's got angry, and he's taking his revenge on you.
Maybe in a past life.
Is it possible there might have been something in the title of the show, perhaps, that the bot picked up on it, if it was the bot indeed? No,
but the title of the show Matt, is Tonight We Cover Conspiracy Theorists and Woo Peddlers. And we covered somebody promoting medical misinformation, which is under my under the way I look at things, both a conspiracy theorist and a woo peddler. So as far as I'm concerned, the show title, thumbnail, the chat, and the description all say that we are the group that debunked that kind of stuff. And somehow we're still the ones that get in shit. Yeah, Slicks. Yeah, they've cracked down on the porn bots. Yeah, that's helpful. We still get too many though. Fucking idiots. I don't know. I'll quit the rant on it now. We can move on. But
now, one thing about the porn bots. I don't understand exactly what. I mean, they suddenly join a channel where that people are having a conversation. It could be this channel, it could be like a rocket launch, it could be anything, and they put the links. Well, there's not even links. It's just like suggestive to go and look at their porn. But it's like, we're talking about whatever, the news and stuff like that. And they put their link in and they go, oh, actually, I've just suddenly realized I'm fucking horny right now. And I'm going to leave this conversation and go and have a wank. I mean, what? I mean, it doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And also, I think what we should do in the future, instead of like porn bots, we should create Shills bots that go on other people's channels and promote our streams.
That's what we need.
I've got to confess, though. I mean, I do get slightly sexually aroused after a launch. I must admit. So yeah. It's the rocket thing. It's the phallic thing. You can't help it.
Matt, let's be honest here, though. You get sexually aroused if the fucking wind picks up by about 3 or 4 miles an hour.
Well,
right?
that's true.
Come
that's
on.
True. Yeah, that's true. I do.
Well, speaking of which, holy dear God, motherfucker, man. What's his name is going to the moon?
Tim Dodds.
Tim Dodds, the everyday astronaut, yeah.
Matt, why don't you tell us the story? You know it well, right? Come on, motherfucker, right? I'm so jealous.
I know, right? There was I remember on social media, I think it was on Facebook, because he actually knew some months ago that he'd been picked. And I remember there was a conversation actually on one of the Facebook groups, sort of whether there was a rumor going around that he had been picked. So yeah, just been confirmed now. So yeah, whoever got that rumor, from where that came from, God only knows. I mean, it could have been guesswork, but yeah. So only his family knew, apparently. So there you go. Yeah, I'm dead jealous.
Are you jealous? I mean,
a little.
I mean, would you want to be on that starship on the return home, where it's screaming towards the Earth at 1 billion miles an hour, and just at the last moment they go, right, we're going to land now?
Well, when you put it like that, it does sound a bit scary, but no, I don't know. Yeah. I don't mind. No, I mean, to be honest with you, I probably wouldn't, to be fair. I probably wouldn't, but you can't help the pang of jealousy, can you? I mean, at the end of the day, I've got kids and a family and stuff, but don't forget as well, he had to go through a full medical. I've got a freaking hope of passing that one. Jesus Christ.
Oh, dude.
Then they'll probably take one look at me and go, like, fuck off. What are you talking about? Dude. You're not going to this.
Dude, you couldn't take the average group of shills and take us apart and assemble a body that would pass that. It just wouldn't happen.
Yeah, that's true.
We're all broken.
One thing or another. That's true.
Yeah, but I mean, the thing is, what was the medical check? What happens to your body if it's suddenly burst into flames and thrown in several thousand miles an hour in several directions? Yeah. No, you're fine. You'll be just fine.
Yeah. Remember, duck and
combustible?
Cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that does kind of worry me. But I mean, like DKG, you're actually right, because I mean, if you look at how it actually lands, right, it comes screaming in. It's like a skydiver with, or actually no, correct that. It's like a brick with little tiny wings hurtling towards the Earth.
It's a crash that changes its mind at the last second.
A controlled crash, yeah. So I mean, it hasn't even got the glide slope of a shuttle. I mean, they used to describe the shuttle as a flying brick. But that's even like so it comes into land. So just before it hits the ground, it flips on its back and it slows down and hope it lands. That's where it sort of stands at the moment. I mean, the G forces in that alone must be a bit scary. It's like, whoa, fuck me, where's my stomach gone?
Has it actually had a successful landing where it didn't burst into flames?
Yes. SM-10, I think. Yeah. One of them. Yeah. I mean, there's obviously still loads more tests to do and stuff like that. But as it stands at the moment, it does still look a bit scary.
Oh, well, that's the thing, though. They're not likely to do another test until, after the first quarter of the next year.
Yeah,
I mean, we got so what would you say, spoiled with all the Starship tests early on, where they were launching the little tank, and and
it was
we were
constant.
amazed by that. Yeah, it was like every week there was a new test and a new test, and they're launching the start. And now it's just like ground to a halt and nothing's happening.
But I think what's going to happen is once you get that first orbital test done, there's going to be probably quite quickly, because I mean they've already manufactured I don't know how many Raptor 2 engines. They're down to manufacturing like one a day at the moment, which is a massive rate. I mean, nobody's been able to manufacture engines to that, at that rate before. So they've got a whole stockpile of them. It's just a case of checking all the rest of it out, and then they can just keep building them and testing them. So I think you're going to see that again. You're going to see like a whole load of tests, within a short space of time again. I think at some point once they get everything sorted out.
Hope so. It's exciting. We got a big super chat from Level 70. Oh my God, I don't know. It says Canadian 27.99. I'm pretty sure it would have been a different currency. I think YouTube's doing that thing again where it fucks shit up. It could be though. I don't know. But either way, great super chat. Thank you, Level 70. He says, she says, I'm not even sure. They say, fuck, I should just say, they say. That's probably going to work, right? For your legal fund. Fuck YouTube. I can't even super chat the fucking F word or any misspelled variation of it on YouTube. Fuck you, YouTube. Let our people go. Thanks, Level 70.
I like the way you said, I can't even say the fucking F word. I like that. That was good.
I was trying to envelop what obviously was going through Level 70's mind typing that out. Like, how fucking frustrating is this,
Fuckity fuck. There you
go. Yeah.
Well, so much for the cleaner version of the Shield show, but never mind. Carry on.
No, but we're aiming for that in the new year. So we still have some drunken Christmas streams to go. And then, over to Shills the drunken behavior shall be.
Oh, is this gonna be a Shills New Year's resolution, is it?
Yeah.
That'll last a month then, as all New Year's resolutions.
Oh, it has to. No, it has to last more now. It definitely does, because YouTube's tightening up. And if we want the main channel to ever get bigger, we're gonna have to dial it down a tiny bit and then take the real fuckery over to Shills where we can just get it in trouble twice a year and fucking make a new channel. Who cares, But we got to fight the good fight, right? And that's the only way we know how. Fuck them.
I mean, I'll tell you what, I think I would cry if I lost my channel right now. It's not very big, but I've been doing it for like 3 years. I think I would cry.
Yeah, but you're on a bit of the thing right now too, Matt. I mean, M2M is got some growth going, right? That's,
during those live streams, I gained about another, I think it was about 70 subscribers, which is good. Kind of cheated a little bit because I had the chat on the subscriber mode, and from that point onwards, it started picking up subscribers. Which is a good thing. So, but luckily, they've all stayed. At least I had dropped a couple.
There's a funny thing too, Matt, because you can pin a comment and you can say, sorry, it has subscriber only chat mode, but it helps fight the bots. And it does, but it also helps, in other ways too, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So I think I'm about 30 away from 2K at the moment. So I just need, so just subscribe. Go on, subscribe right now. Just come back.
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, go over and tickle some buttons. Oh, we have a cool other super chat in here. John Pearson for $10, and that's a proper $10. No number weirdness, so I know that's not YouTube screwing around. Why am I babbling about this every time? We got a super chat from John Pearson for $10. Carnal knowledge, YouTube. I think there's a good reference there for fuck for unlawful carnal knowledge, right? Great super chat, John. Thanks, man. Awesome shout. There is where is it here? We gotta
is a house.
Yeah. I love that song. You remember we talked about those weird Chinese Canadian police stations, quote unquote, that are like springing, they're being found out. Yeah. It turns out they're not just in like Toronto and Montreal. They're being found now in Vancouver and everywhere. And I think this is like rampant across Canada. And, the authorities and the government and whatnot are really freaking out. They're like, this can't be something that we missed for this long. It's it should have a really interesting story as it plays out.
Well,
but
remind our viewers what's going on with that story.
Yeah, the basis of it is they've got these so-called offices where somewhat Chinese official-like people are there to help you with immigration paperwork and stuff. But as the Canadian government sees them, they're very much more like police offices, and they are literally, playing an authoritative role within the Chinese communities in the different little areas of Canada where everybody gets together for Chinatown and stuff. And it's not looking very good. It's not looking good at all. It looks like there's a real power play of influence from the Chinese government trying to be executed on Canadian soil, and they're not happy about it.
I think Trudeau might have had a word with Xi Jinping when they were the UN. Did you hear about that? They were they bump into each other between meetings, and he was talking to him about something. I don't think anybody knew at the time what he was talking about, but I think it came out later on that that's what he was talking about. That they need to discuss it. But I mean, what gets me? What's there to discuss? You can't just go to somebody else's country and set up a police station.
Dear Lord, because, right? What are you thinking?
What I mean? It's like us go. It's like the British setting up a police station in Tenerife, just because they got an expats community. You can't do that. It's just like, you know what I mean? You can't just start making up laws and arresting people. You've got certain protections and things like that.
Well, you could. We're British. We can do that.
And we do anything, can't we? Yeah.
And we did do that.
Well,
it was called the British Empire.
That's true. Yes, that's true. Not in Spain, we didn't. But anyway, apart from the Rock. But you know what I mean. You can't do that though. Well, British Empire, that was completely different. We just went around the world and went and sort of stood on the land with a flag. We declare this Britain.
Yeah.
Who? Who are you?
You're all our subjects now. Do what we're told, or we'll shoot you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, all right. What do you want? More tea and more curry. And lots of tigers, please.
Lots of tigers that we can shoot. Thank you. For sport. Tally ho. Pip pip.
Yeah, we don't all talk like that.
So you've probably got your ears to the ground on what's going on, Dick. What do you think's gonna happen over the coming months about that? I mean, what?
Well, don't ask. His ears are in the toilet at the minute.
He's gone Riley, is he? I haven't been looking.
Yeah, he's gone Riley.
Okay.
Yeah, not in the green room, are you again? Naughty boy.
So but I mean, it kind of wonders then what can the Canadian government actually do? I mean, what they can't. I mean, what kind of threats can they give them? Like sanctions or something? I don't know.
Well, I don't. It's also what can the Chinese police do? I mean, I'm not even too sure how that works out because a police force has to follow a legal structure, and if they're not following Canadian law and they're following like Chinese law, then what are they going to do? Extradite everybody to China to court?
Yeah.
How's that even work with the legal system? I haven't a fucking clue.
I think they're just trying to manipulate Chinese immigrants to like spy on Canadian companies or something of that nature. Like here in America, there was they just recently busted the Chinese government for intimidating American, people who came here who are both American and Chinese citizens, trying to get them to come back to China.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got a super chat in. Shall I Should I catch that one?
Well, we got a member chat as well from previous. Do you want to grab them both then, Matt?
Yeah. Where's the member? I can't even see the member chat actually.
Just scroll. You'll figure it out.
don't patronize me, you.
No, patronize him.
It's from our very own Rodent Toe, member for 22 months, fly under carnivorous kiwis, YouTube. I like that one. That's good. And then we had a super chat from Mark Swabby. I don't know, but PHUQ, YouTube, and the horse it rides on.
Yeah. I love it.
Thank you very much, Dave. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Rodent Toad.
I think the horse it rides on is Google, isn't it?
Yeah, true. So we were just onward going, and we were talking about that, Dick. And I was just asking. I mean, what do you think is going to be the result of that? I mean, what can the Canadian government do about it? I mean, you know, I don't know how that works.
I think it's going to be a major thing politically, because what's going to happen is a bunch of people are going to be told to get the fuck out of the country, and because you can't put yourself in a position of authority in a police-like situation in any way without being in serious trouble, and that's not going to work out well for quite a few people. And I do believe that there will be some Chinese backlash over it due to the situation. But I'm sorry, you just can't go on somebody else's soil and start acting out like that. It's not the way it works, man. Can't be doing it.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you. But I mean, that's potentially what you're doing is you're cutting diplomatic ties. I mean, what they ultimately have to do is literally just tell them, the embassy, to fuck off.
Yeah,
you know, just send them home, which is pretty major situation, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's what gets me. Why Canada though? Why not Britain or US or like?
Oh, well, no, there's some in Germany, and a couple other countries are now looking into this, because it turns out it's not just Canada. Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. I never knew that.
Interesting,
I haven't heard anything
right?
about the UK. Have you, DKG, anything in the UK about that?
I have no idea. I've not heard anything.
God, it's so bizarre, though, isn't it? It's fucking weird. I don't get it. I don't know. Oh, we'll just set up a police station here. That'll do in that country. Yay.
Like, what the fuck? That's just not normal behavior. You just don't normally do that kind of thing, you know? But
it was a literal police station, or were they just harassing the people who immigrated from China? Were they harassing Canadians?
No, they set it up as a place to help with immigration and stuff. But in the background, it seems to be a lot more politically influenced, based on you better still be Chinese and whatnot.
Right. I mean, in terms of, I don't know whether they've got an Interpol agreement, China and Canada, have they? Because there needs to be like an agreement. You can't. Interpol doesn't work in every country. I know that one.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that plays out between the two, to be honest. Not my normal, area of conversational expertise, right?
No, that's true.
Yeah. But, speaking of like world tensions and whatnot, the prisoner swap with Brittany Griner, is that it? Let me get the goddamn something in front of me. Yeah. So Russia gave up the basketball star Brittany in exchange for another prisoner who's a complete piece of shit fucking backyard arms dealer. And as much as it sucks to let that guy back into the world, it was worth it to get her back, because she was being used as a fucking pawn.
Right.
Not only that, female in a Russian work camp in Siberia.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Not good. I can only imagine that she's going to need a bit of support for traumatic stress.
I mean, by all accounts, from what I could tell from all the videos I'm watching, the stuff from Ukraine soldiers, I mean, Ukraine soldiers love it when they capture prisoners, because they're really doing it, because it actually gives them more bargaining chips. It's kind of they almost using it as currency. to get back, prisoners of their own for exchange.
Yeah.
So they're really trying to capture as many as they possibly can, because at the end of the day, yes, they're killing a lot of Russians, but the thing is that Ukraine still, in terms of population, it's obviously a lot smaller. So they really need as many personnel and experienced soldiers back as much as they possibly can, and those that are able to,
Yeah, those Russian soldiers are worth more alive than they are dead.
Well, yeah, sad fact, but yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Good sunflower fertilizer. I'm just saying. No. The article I wanted to bring up, though, DK, was the one that you alluded to in the headlines there, where Twitter is actually under investigation for allegedly setting up illegal bedrooms in the company headquarters. I shit you not.
Illegal bedrooms?
Well, illegal bedrooms is probably isn't the right way to say it. It's just not common practice to turn office spaces into living quarters, and it goes against
it's illegal. If you've got a place marked as an office building, you can't just set up living quarters in it. It's actually illegal. It is.
Might be in Canada, maybe.
It is over here for sure. If you can't just buy a business and then turn it into a home. The city shows up and knocks on your door and says, "Get the fuck out."
Yeah, it's a weird sort of thing about rezoning and stuff, because I talked about this a long time ago, just casually with my daughter when it was like driving around London and you're seeing all these office buildings and there was like closing up at night, thinking, well, can you imagine, if they turn them over to sleeping quarters at night, all that space being wasted. But this is different. This is Elon Musk, who is just basically trying to drive his workers to the nut of the bone.
Yeah.
And he wants them to sleep there and get up and get to work the next day.
Yeah. Yeah, what he's doing is, why don't you just live here and not pay rent? And then that way my pittance of a salary actually lets you live well.
Right.
That's one step away from a Chinese Foxconn plant where everybody lives around the factory in dormitory-like conditions. Come on, Elon, you just can't do this, man.
Yeah, I mean, the owner or CEO or whatever is one thing, because they're the one that making the big bucks. They're the one that needs to make all the major decisions. They need to be there, but the staff are not paid enough. They're employees. They're not owners of the company. They don't have a stake in the company. And I certainly know that the employees of Twitter don't have any stake in the company, apart from their time. They're just getting paid a salary at the end of the day. So, if you're going to enforce employees to do that, then they need to be, how can I put it, recompensed for doing that, but clearly not.
I mean, I have actually seen this in the visual effects community where people are working so hard, they do actually have a bunk, and that they will just go and sleep in and then just get back to work the next day. But it's not so much. People are. It's not official. Because obviously, like Dick says, you cannot rezone offices into bedrooms. It's just no one's coming in to check. But this is slightly different because Elon has made it fucking public and everyone's tweeting about it.
But what if this is like Atari in 1977 and there's literally cum stains and cocaine everywhere, right? That's not a good look.
I'm not 100% sure what the law actually says, but I don't think you can. I mean, you certainly can't turn like an office building into start charging them rent. You're renting out accommodation in an office building. But having said that, I don't think there's anything like stopping you having like staff accommodation, so to speak, because I used to work in the hotel industry. I used to work in the hotel industry. I lived on the premises on a couple of hotels.
But that's a hotel, dude.
Yeah, I know, but it
exists to give people a place to stay.
But hear me out. No, but there's the thing. It was never actually in the hotel itself. I mean, like the hotel rooms. It was like a separate block that was attached to the administration block on both of those occasions.
if you were to set it up ahead of time, there's probably provision for that. But I do know that you can't just, all of a sudden
You can't just suddenly rent out a part of your office block to, for accommodation. No, I appreciate that. I'm just trying to give you the sort of like this distinction between the two and stuff.
Yeah, you'd be like. You'd be like some bodega owner in South Central LA. No, there's not 40 Mexicans in the basement. Nope.
Well, what you could do is have all these these little bedrooms and just say to his crew, you know what? While you're here, why don't you set up a My OnlyFans account and and make all the funds payable to twitter.com. Thank you very much. Bye.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, I got to take a screenshot of this. Hold on. Just give me 1 second here. Babble amongst yourselves in the background. But you've got to see what I see on YouTube Studio right now. Hold on. Okay. Save as... What the fuck, YouTube? Okay. I can't show this on the stream because technically in the service agreements and whatnot, especially the partnership, you're not allowed to show a YouTube Studio on your channel. You're not supposed to. But at one moment on the same page of YouTube Studio, it told me that we had 68 viewers watching, but it also said in a different spot that we had 34.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I noticed that as well, Dick. It's weird, isn't it? I don't know why it does that.
Oh my God.
It's to another.
Yeah, it's useless, right?
Yeah.
It's useless.
Yeah.
I should give a big shout out to the fact that we are actively doing I'm going to trigger it right now, a Christmas fundraiser. We've done amazing so far. We've had a whole whack of people contribute to the Christmas fundraiser, and we are doing really well to help some people who just can't bring Santa to the little ones. We're going to continue our efforts because it's only the 9th right now of December, and we can still, plug along and, maybe get an extra, something or other and this and that. And, it's not always up to us. You got to talk to the families and stuff and whatnot. But it's going great. I got to give a massive shout out to everybody who's supported it. Some of the names don't match YouTube names. I don't want to be doxing people, so I'm not going to give specifics. A couple of people have already contributed a couple of times. You know who you are, and you're a very special people. And, if you're able to, if it's something that you can, even just like $2 or $3 or whatever, it all adds up and it really helps. And I think we're going to be able to do something really cool this year. So our Christmas fundraiser, there you go. It's coming across the screen now. If you want the simplified version, you can go to paypal.me/the Shills and just mark your donation as for Christmas, Xmas, whatever you want. If you want something shouted out on the show, put it in the little thingy, if you want to make sure we don't give whatever name and you want it said such and such, you can do that too. Don't worry. We read it. It's all right. But huge thanks to everybody who's already been in there and chipped in because it's really working out. You guys are amazing. Huge thanks.
And while we're doing that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and become a channel member, because becoming a channel member, you get to see the live streams 2 days before anybody else.
That's just not true. What are you doing?
2 days before everybody else, the live streams.
PJ CNET just got excited. He's going to sign up now.
Remember the Halloween special? We do that because we have control of the vagina of time.
Oh, that's it. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, also.
Yeah. Nurse Strange.
We're just taking the mic, PJ.
it was a good special. Go watch it.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
Dick was dead, but he came back.
Yeah, that was hilarious. I had no idea what you fuckers were up to. And then when Mipet starts the show off with my eulogy, I was like, okay, no wonder I was told to mute in the beginning.
But you knew something was going on. You knew something was going on, but you just didn't know what, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was funny because, well, DK had me test a couple of technical designs of that show. And so he would bring me in to do a test. And then I would be like, well, okay, why do you want me to do this? Just shut up. Never mind. He couldn't tell me. Right?
On your business.
Yeah. So I'm typing in this Google Docs document. I have no idea why. It turns out it's going to be ghostly on the screen. So Mallory can interact with it and stuff. And I was like, why am I doing this shit? What are you doing? You know? But it was funny. Great excuse to get drunk too. Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that.
A lot of fun.
Fucking right it was.
fair play to DKG. DKG spent a lot of hours, day in and day out, putting a lot of stuff together. So,
huge. Oh yeah.
What a waste of fucking time.
No, he wasn't. It was all well worth it. It was all well worth it. All very good.
A cranky bitch.
That little segment that I did took about 90 hours of straight rendering.
Yeah. 90 hours. I mean, that's about $7 on an electric bill right there.
The little segment I did took about 3 minutes of recording and about 30 minutes of some editing. Yeah, that was my contribution.
Well, that's more.
35 minutes worth.
Yeah, but that's more normal. Commander always goes the extra mile, right? You know,
right. Exactly.
Yeah. Unlike you.
Too lazy.
Yeah.
I haven't got the patience for that sort of stuff anyway.
Yeah. Did you guys hear Putin just did a little thing where he was talking about how their attacks on Ukraine right now, missile wise, are their own fault. Well, he was having a drink and cheersing with a couple of soldiers and stuff. What a absolute piece of shit that man is.
Yeah. Like he said, right. It's like the sketch from bloody Faulty Towers. It's like, oh, we didn't start it. You fucking what?
Come again?
Apparently his attacks on the infrastructure in Ukraine is in direct response to them blowing up the bridge, which is not the same thing.
He's been destroying infrastructure one form or another. I mean, okay, not deliberately targeting like the literacy stuff like that. But I mean, like, he's been blowing up blooming apartment blocks and stuff like that. So fuck off. What are you talking about?
Well, the Ukraine attack on their bridge was to stop a flow of military equipment. Them attacking the power infrastructure in Ukraine is to freeze the fucking populace out. That's not the same thing. But the whole funny thing is like, we didn't start it. It's like, yes, you did. You invaded Poland.
That's the other thing that gets me as well. We are defending our country by invading another one. Okay. Yeah, that works. Right then.
You tit.
Yeah. Absolutely the biggest load of fucking bullshit the world has been sold in a long time.
Oh, yeah. Because
only the fucking idiots buy it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right. No, Zelensky was awarded Time Person of the Year. I gotta say, Putin at this point, he's got some bollocks to come up with the shit he says as well.
I know, right? He should literally get a Razzie for bullshit artist of the year, right?
Oh dear.
Yeah, we've even got him showing up to pick up his award. He's riding in on a fucking tiger.
Yeah.
Like an assassination attempt. If anybody out there is a hit person, and you feel like maybe you need to make a name for yourself because you're not getting a lot of work in, that would be a target that you could really brag about. I'm just saying. I'm not advocating. I'm just saying.
And all super chats tonight will be going to fund an assassin. So please super chat generously, and we'll sort it out. Don't worry about it.
Actually, even better is direct Streamlabs donations, because then we don't have to pay the extra to. Oh dear God, I'm not even logged in. Well, we don't have to pay the extra to. YouTube, and we can use more of the money to try and make sure that fucking cake eating piece of shit gets taken down.
Well. The thing is, though, if Google or YouTube do take like 33% of the super chat money, they will be complicit in the assassination attempt, and so they will be very handy when you need a lawyer.
I've got a little story for you. Do you know you're talking about assassins just a minute ago. There was a story I saw earlier on today. Now, I'm sorry, I don't mean to sound racist, but it was an Asian country, and I can't remember which one it was. It was something like Thailand or Indonesia or something like that. But what it was, there was this high-flying politician or rich guy wanted to assassinate somebody. So he paid 2 million of whatever their currency was to an assassin to kill this guy. So what this assassin did was he paid 1 million to an assassin to assassinate somebody for him. Then that assassin apparently paid 500 of their currency to another assassin to assassinate this person. And he went down 6 people, and finally he went down to this one person who was supposed to be paid 10,000 to assassinate it. The police heard about it and captured the fucking lot of them. All the assassins, all the way up to the top guy that wanted them assassinated. Oh, it was just fucking hilarious. Paying an assassin to assassinate somebody, then the assassin pays somebody else to assassinate them. Yeah.
Eventually gets caught because they went to Fiverr.com.
Went to Fiverr on eBay. Assassination for £5.
You end up with Hayden Christensen with some fucking Star Wars lightsaber children's toy going out to hurt somebody. Fuck.
Exactly. Yeah, you could see it going much further than 6, going all the way down to 20 people, exactly like you said, a couple of quid or something.
Too funny. So what the hell then? Let's see. There was a few others I wanted to bring up. Where is there's the Keystone Pipeline, the oil pipeline that always gets a lot of bad press, hate press, tree hugger press, pro economy press. I mean, it's all over the place, right? There was an oil spill in Canada or in Kansas, and it's the biggest in the pipeline's history, and the whole thing's been shut down. And there's going to be environmental people screaming bloody murder about it. And sure, it sucks. I agree. It really sucks, but the odd breach of a pipeline versus the odd breach of a vessel at sea or train hauling oil. I don't think any one of them's been proved perfect. So, where do you draw the line there? Because you got to move this shit around. We're still in that age, right? What's the argument, I'm not sure. I think that, a pipeline, if done properly through, areas that are, okay, if it breaches once in a blue moon, we're not really ruining anything too important. I guess, I mean, there has to be an acceptable level of risk on it, doesn't it? Because no method is perfect. Nothing is, right? How do you draw that line? It's a really tough call, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, well, on any subject, really, I suppose. I suppose there's a level of risk on anything we do, really.
Yeah, even sex, right? No condom is perfect. No pill is 100%.
As long as it went through Kansas, there's nothing there to ruin. It's just a joke.
Carry on, wayward commander. But I mean, it's a tough call, right? If you can have a pipeline that's way cheaper than trucking and shipping and all this stuff, but the pipeline bursts, and when a pipeline bursts, if you don't know right away, it could leak for a while and become absolutely disastrous. I don't really know the ins and outs of them, right? I'm not exactly pipeline educated, but there does seem to be an inherent fear of pipelines over other methods of transporting oil, crude oil, and so on and so forth. And I'm not 100% sure that one's better than the other.
Well, pipeline seems to be the better version, but obviously, if they're just making shitty pipes, then that's a problem. But
well, I mean,
that's probably where the problem lies mostly.
I mean, in general, I mean, at least it used to be the most reliable way of actually transporting whatever it is, whether it be oil or gas or whatever it might be. It's quick and it's instant and it's constant. Because obviously if you're just shipping it by containers or whatever it might be, then it's not a steady flow, isn't it? So that's why they kind of do them. But the problem is they're very vulnerable to attack, as we've seen. Like in the pipelines coming from Russia and stuff like that. So. That's no longer the case, is it? So yeah, I don't know if there's any other easier way of doing it, to be honest.
Yeah,
but that's because I mean you can't really guard a whole lots of pipeline. It's just not practical to do that, particularly if it's underwater.
I mean, the question is how did the leaks happen in the first place? I mean.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you just never know exactly, how that happened.
Yeah,
it could be somebody fucking up. And I hate to say it, sometimes environmentalists will, take that extra step to.
There's already a couple of people blaming environmentalist groups as if they did it on purpose to highlight their cause and stuff. I hope you're not making. But I hope they're not making that accusation lightly, because that should not be uttered without actual background information to back it up. You should not be playing political games with that kind of bullshit.
No, but people do play political games on all sides. That's the problem. It's really hard to know who to trust.
Too many.
Back when it was first proposed, there was actually a camp that didn't want the pipeline, because you see how oil markets work. You take and you ship the oil down to the Gulf Coast to all the refineries. Then that oil can actually be sold on the international market. There were people who wanted to basically force it to be refined elsewhere so it would hit the domestic market.
There's very much an oil thing. Very much. I think we'll be talking about that tomorrow on Ukraine Update as well, because there's definitely a tie in there. Matt.
I'm going to say the problem with environmental issues. The problem with environmental issues is they seem to trigger off, and no matter what you do. I mean, yes, everything we do as humans on Earth is bad. We can't get away from that. And so, we'll use oil, and that puts CO2 in the atmosphere. It's spillages all over the place, and fucking seabirds get covered in oil. Okay, we won't do that. We'll use nuclear power. That's clean. Oh, what? Nuclear power? What? Are you mad? Nuclear power? Don't use nuclear power, because you've got radiation and all that. The potential of huge explosions and meltdowns and shit like that. Okay, we won't use nuclear power. We'll use wind power. What wind power? Those big propellers in the fields are chopping up birds as they fly through them. Oh, right, okay. We won't do that. We'll use fusion, where we're going to build power stations that have the energy of the sun at the center of the power station. Yeah. Okay, that sounds.
And then what fun
better
happens with that? The neutrons basically activate the neutrons from the fusion activate the entire thing. So sooner or later, you get a lot of radioactive stuff anyway.
I thought the whole idea of fusion that it was less radioactive. I thought that was the whole point of it. No?
But it produces a lot of neutrons.
It's less radioactive waste, but it's not without its radioactive issues.
It still has some. Yeah, we're aware of that. But I thought so. It is got a lot less than fission then.
Yeah, I mean, let's face it. The sun is like a big radiation thing, and that's what keeps us warm. So it's like environmentally, we should shut the sun down because that's bad for us. So you can never fucking win with nature and environmentalism.
And as I understand it at the moment, with the fusion reactors, the stands at the moment, they're putting more energy in than they're actually getting out at the moment. Because they can't sustain it for long enough to do it, to get enough energy out of it, because it takes quite a lot of energy to get
there
it started.
There has been a couple of recent moments that have brought us closer. And we are getting to the point where researchers are starting to get excited because they see a practical fusion power station on the horizon. But, we had people get excited about other technologies over time that all of a sudden, we were close, but it never came. So, but I really hope, because to be able to get clean power out of a controlled fusion reaction somewhere versus, the filth that comes out of nuclear and the risk and so on and so forth. I mean, it would change everything. Well,
with the way energy prices are going up and people can't even afford to heat their homes with electricity anymore, it's going to get to that point where all these research stations trying to build fusion reactors say, no, we can't even afford to put any energy in. Fuck it.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, there's a thing where most of the tritium in the world, I think I heard somewhere it was produced in the CANDU reactors, and they're decommissioning them all. And at some point, there might be a shortage of tritium to even conduct the tests.
Really? Because that's not helpful. Like we need that stuff, right? Holy shit.
I don't even know what it is. Can you get it on Amazon?
Yeah, not quite.
Is it like Tabasco or something?
There's
it's a radioactive isotope of hydrogen that has a half-life like 12.3 years.
Matt, there's been a few things going on Artemis Way. Are you all set up over there?
Well, I'm going to be on Sunday. We've got Splashdown of Orion coming. So that's probably like a key time for Orion. So that's on Sunday, and I believe it's going to be 12:40 Eastern, be Splashdown time. Let me just check. Yeah, 12:40 Eastern. But I'm thinking that I probably will stream that myself. I'm not sure. I might start it tomorrow, like as an approach, because we're still getting those live camera shots from Orion spacecraft. You might get some really good images as it approaches Earth again as well. So hopefully, with any luck, so I might start it the day before, but it depends on what they actually look like. If they're not showing much, then it's probably not worth it. I might just start it a few hours before Splashdown, and then we might see the whole thing and stuff. So yeah, you look out on my channel. We'll do that. So cool. that's the big thing that everyone's looking forward to.
Stop saying Splashdown. It's making me horny.
See, now you know what I'm talking about. See what I mean? You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it gets the old carrot whipper looking over the fence, man. Easy on them. We should give a big shout out to Woden Toad, our own Woden Toad. She dropped $10 into the Christmas charity hat. So huge shout out to Toad. Thank you very much, Toad. Awesome. Thank you, big time.
Thank you, Toad. Thank you. Yeah, so I'm literally just setting up a live stream actually for that now. So we'll, I'll schedule it for a couple hours before, and I might change it. So look out for the chat, and I'll put the link in there.
See, there was an interesting conversation I heard about Artemis. Is that on this test they didn't test the life support system, and it was like, well, yes, because you can't. Because there's no one alive on it to test it.
Well, that's what was a bit bizarre. I mean, I would have thought they could sort of test it at least in terms of the environment, because they can easily test in terms of like how much oxygen's in the cabin, on and temperature and all that kind of stuff. So I don't understand why they didn't. To be
well, it's all to do with the recycling of and you need someone in there to be breathing out, breathing in the oxygen and breathing out the carbon dioxide, and the scrubbers, blah blah blah. So they couldn't test it. So the first time you're going to test it is when you put people up there.
Well, true, I guess, but I mean, you can still do cabin pressure and all that kind of stuff as well. But yeah, I suppose the carbon dioxide and all the rest of it. Yeah, I guess so. But
couldn't you just test that while on the ground? Just have someone in the capsule while the equipment's working.
Oh, I'm sure they do anyway. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, of course they would. But I mean, they're pretty well versed in that kind of stuff anyway. So.
I think one of the big questions is truly, how are they going to have things like cake or ice cream at a birthday party celebration? just I'm just being an idiot.
Why not? Why not? You can in a tube, in a bag.
No, it's quite simple. It's quite simple. They check people's birthdays, and if an astronaut's birthday coincides with an Artemis mission, they're not allowed to go on it. Simple as that. You got an anniversary. You got an anniversary on that launch date. No, you can't go on it because we'd have to provide cake, and we can't provide cake. So you're off the mission.
Yeah.
No cake, so therefore you can't go. There you go.
No space cakes.
Starts to be a fine.
Let my space cake go.
See what a lot of people don't understand is Apollo 13. That was a birthday celebration. They lit a candle, boom, and that was it.
Weren't they doing a ceremony to the Illuminati because of the Knights Templar or something? Like Giorgio Tsoukalos told me this story once. I'll have to give him a call. Hold on.
Get him on speed dial.
I have heard that because apparently Buzz
I have his number. It's 1-800-ASS-HOLE.
Asshole. There was a rumor there. There was one conspiracy theory. With Buzz Aldrin, he did communion once they landed on the moon, and before they did the EVA, he did communion.
That's what I was doing. Yeah.
But there's a conspiracy that apparently he was performing some sort of Illuminati ritual and all the rest of it. There's one thing. I'm gonna have to find that somewhere. It's sure there's a video somewhere I read about it. But yeah, that's quite funny.
It's on an Ancient Aliens episode from one of their early few seasons. I had a friend who used to watch it, and I'd go over and, we'd have a beer or two and, this and that or whatever. And he'd make me watch a couple of them. It'd be like, no, but you just got to watch. And while we're watching, I'm debunking it for him. And But it really was. It was on Ancient Aliens where the one idiot who writes books and the other idiot that wears the really gaudy blue sort of white rock combo as jewelry, and Tsoukalos, Eric Von Daniken's little bitch boy himself, all claim that they were up there doing a fucking Illuminati fucking 7th degree whatever ritual, and it's ridiculous. It's unbelievable. And this is on no less than the History Channel. I shit you not.
Yeah, history is a thing of the past.
I don't know. I mean, how things like the History Channel and things like that getting away with it? I just don't understand that. I mean, what made them switch from actually doing real history to this shit?
Hang on.
Why?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Around 2009.
What do you mean?
I
getting
heard a
away
theory
with it?
on this.
But yeah, well, I don't
Yeah,
mean
what
in
do you
terms.
know?
I don't mean in terms of like they're getting shut. They should be getting shut down. But I mean,
They have an agreement with the FCC in America that they're supposed to be broadcasting content that is actually historic because that's how they got their license. Yeah. Now, I've heard a theory about this. Originally, Ted Turner, the CNN guy and whatnot, he started History Channel, and he started it because he got the rights to a whole shitload of World War I and II content, especially World War II. And if you go back and look, that was essentially the bread and butter of the History Channel for a bunch of years. And now they just seem to be lost because they don't know what to do anymore. So, Ancient Aliens. Why? Well, it has ancient in the title. That means history.
Yeah,
but yeah.
But I mean, it's like, what the. Yeah, so I mean, there must have been a point where somebody amongst the management said they got together, had a meeting. I know what we'll do. We'll just do a whole load of conspiracies and shit. Let's do that. But it's not even kind of neutral though, is it? It's completely biased about aliens and stuff like that, existing and walking around here on Earth and doing shit. It's ridiculous.
Like Mike71 in the chat says they also have Pawn Stars on that channel, the History Channel. How is a pawn shop on the History Channel? Why? Because a few people bring in old things? I mean, is that some kind of joke? How can that even be?
And that's all faked anyway, so fuck it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I did try to take it up the BBC. I wanted to start a show on the BBC 4, and it was called Ancient Allens. And it was like, 80-year-old people who were called Alan. And they wouldn't pick on it, yeah.
I know an ancient alien, Alan. He'll join.
Yeah, there you go. There's loads of them.
Alan Parsons and his project. It is sad though, because how do they get away with being called the History Channel now when one of their more popular shows is Ancient Aliens? Come on,
you can say the same about MTV for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Was it the History Channel that actually came up with the term Ancient Aliens? Or was it was
basically started as a spoof, bullshit kind of joke, and then
spiraled.
It started as a 6-part miniseries where each show was like an hour and a half with commercials or whatever. And after the 6 episodes, they had the viewers that they fucking turned around and put it into production. That's the sad part of it. It was based on viewer reception that they kept it going because it was just supposed to be a 6-part series, Ancient Aliens, right? If you go back and look on IMDb, Ancient Aliens Season 1 has 6 episodes, and each one wraps the whole theory of Ancient Aliens up in a nutshell together. You don't need any other episodes. It was produced on purpose to be that. It's hilarious. And now they're on like season 17, and they're talking about, what if garbage bags were really brought to us by the aliens? And if so, could it be that it's really a fucking plot to make sure that we infest our own garbage with plastic?
Right.
It's just so bad.
I've got a quote up on my channel now, and it says conspiracies are a perennial favorite for television producers because there's always a receptive audience. When it's a Michael Shermer said that, and he's absolutely right. That just epitomizes it, doesn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I think it's been going on for years. So, Arthur C. Clarke's Mysterious Worlds, that was full of shit as well. But yeah, Commander, what you were just about to say, it's really cheap. It's really cheap TV what they do.
It's cheaper to make shit up and not have to do any research or hire anyone qualified. It's just cheaper to make shit up than do a real documentary.
Yeah. And if you look at Ancient Aliens, the first season especially, it is literally patterned after the original TV show, The Universe, where the odd time they would take somebody into the field to do a little demonstration-y thingy. But for the most part, it was just people in a set, whether it's probably a room in their own home, and they're just talking to camera based on producer prompts. And you can see, it was dead to rights. It was their thing. That's how they do it. But that it's still going is just not a good sign on humanity.
How much more can these ancient aliens have done? I mean, honest to God, we visited a Tesco shopping center, and obviously humans could not have built this. And look at the way its shelving is, and the way they've organized the fruits and vegetables. Only aliens could have done this. Oh, for fuck's sake! Where do you start to draw the line? Because it's like fucking aliens did everything.
I'm dying over
Maybe
here.
aliens invented pornos because they keep on probing the credulous.
Yeah, that's
God. Okay.
I mean, here's the other thing that gets me as well, right? You've got an alien species that has managed to find a way of traveling interstellar space, right? Traveling thousands or millions of light years and stuff like that to get to us. What the fuck
hundreds of miles.
Hundreds of miles, yeah. What the fuck is so interesting about us? Because if we can't even do that, why the fuck are they interested in us?
Because we've got a bum and they don't.
Yeah.
What's that? Well, put your finger in it. No, you put your finger in it. Okay, I'll put.
See,
it's either
that's
that.
why they came to probe people. That's all.
Yeah, it's a sexual thing there. Maybe it is, but it could also be as well. Like, who are these really stupid fucking people who think they're
their
own
sex
planet?
tourists.
They think their own planet is flat. Or think they're sex tourists.
They're sex tourists. They're not allowed to do it on their planet, so they come here.
Or maybe they just want to study really stupid people that think their own planet is flat. Who knows? I don't know.
That's fucking funny. Sorry guys, I gotta cut in here because I'm just getting caught up on a couple of alerts, but we have had a couple of amazing fucking people step up to the Xmas Fund. So let me get the shout outs in first. We had Woden Toad step up with a donation to the Xmas Fund. Love you, Toad. So cool. We had, oh my god, I'm gonna cough my head off. 1 second, sorry. Actually, it came out as a burp. What the fuck is that? We had let me look through the thing. I just want to make sure I'm not like doxing anybody. I think I can say Christina. Christina donated huge with I hope the kiddos have a very Merry Christmas. Christina, we love you. Thank you so much. And then we had our own CF Beauty on the Shills account right now. She sent in about $2 trillion and said, make sure everybody's covered for Christmas. And then we had, if I can just look in the chat here.
Are you sure? Are you sure it's $2 trillion? Really?
Yeah, it was. It was actually $2.7 trillion.
Okay.
Right. So yeah. And then we had I'm just waiting for him to cue me in the chat because I'm wondering if I should use the name from Twitter or should I use the okay, here we go. Yeah, and we've got sorry, I got some people have different names on YouTube and Twitter and it fucks me up. But Liam Wakefield in the live chat came in huge with like over $150 on the fucking Christmas donation. And he is absolutely on fire. We love you, Liam. We should, with that extra boost, be able to literally call the Salvation Army that are across the street from us and add an extra family to the group, dude. That's huge. That's huge.
Thanks, Liam. Wow.
Yeah,
Well,
huge.
in fact, with that kind of money, we are going to build a time machine, go back to Victorian England, and bring all the children from Victorian London to a party.
Yeah.
And they all get a lump of coal each.
Yeah. So big shout outs to everybody. You know, our Christmas fundraiser is proving to be a massive success. And, you know, unfortunately, I'm not ever going to, you know, provide, you know, this and that and whatnot and such as, you know, evidence and proof, because we're providing for families. And I don't think they really need to be called out as somebody who wanted help in Christmas. So you're just going to have to trust that we're doing the right thing. I'm a single parent with an autistic child, and there's no way I'd do anything but. So that's how it is around here, you know. Obviously, y'all do because you have. And holy fuck, are we making a difference, fellow babies? This shit is good. Well, I love you guys. Well done.
The one thing we can promise you is that Dick Dawson is not going to be dressing up as Santa and scaring the kiddies.
Dear Lord, can you imagine that? Santa Claus is a biker from the 70s. Oh fuck. But yeah, you know, we've hooked in with some people. Some of our support is going to some of our online family, and some is going local through the Salvation Army in our area, because they know a few families that I could click with because they have special needs kids and whatnot. And you know, that's very near and dear to my heart. So I love you guys. We're really doing some good shit. This is awesome. Oh, it's good. It's good. We should now turn back to a little bit of news-like stuff, because there is an Arizona senator. Now, I know nobody on the panel right now. Well, Commander, yeah, you know politics all too well down there, maybe. But Arizona Senator Kristen Sinema has registered as an independent, leaving the Democratic Party and undoing now a Democrat majority. I don't know the structure of American politics to know how well that, how much that affects things. But
as long as Kamala Harris remains the vice president, it's not going to affect things. What she is doing, she's an attention-seeking bitch.
That's what I thought.
And she actually started out pretty much around where Bernie Sanders was, and then I don't know what got into her. Probably a lot of money from Mitch McConnell's friends, because she didn't show really a lot of what she's been behaving like for the past 2 years until after the 2020 election, where she basically, you know, some of the time, in fact, most of the time, because, you know, you either need to get rid of the filibuster or you need 60 votes to pass gas in the Senate. The only thing they can do without 60 votes is basically do budget stuff. And that's basically the biggest thing, both protecting democracy if the Republicans were to get all three houses. And I'm not trying to be partisan here. It's just that they've pretty much said, fuck democracy, we want power. But, you know, right now she's attention seeking. She knows what she's doing is wrong, but she's attention seeking and finance seeking, because I'm pretty sure she's a corrupt bitch.
Oh, sorry. There's all kinds of fucking wrong in the backstory and in between the lines on that one, for sure. I wanted to go to M2M because we've got a little fire on Russia home turf, do we?
Yeah. Basically, it's just breaking news. There's a massive fire in a shopping center in Moscow. Now, read into it as you will. I mean, what with considering the recent explosions in military bases in Russia, I wonder. What does everybody think? I wonder.
Well, I mean, it could just be a fire.
It could be.
I mean, they do happen.
It could be. Yes, they do. They do. But apparently, there's been some explosions apparently reported as well. But whether they're
But having said that,
I don't know.
Yeah, but this is not what now. Yes, no, because I don't think Ukraine would target such a target, but I would say that Russia could false flag it.
They could.
You mean just like Putin did day one, where the FSB basically blew up a bunch of Russian apartment buildings, and then I think they blamed Georgia for it, and then they started a bloody war.
Yeah, could be. Or it could be just some Ukrainians in their own free will, with no official capacity whatsoever. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge.
Possibly
did these things.
Oh, yeah, possibly. But I think I would assume they would more likely head for like military targets in some way. But could be.
I don't know. It's just all kind of coincidental because these things keep cropping up, don't they, in Russia? I know fires do happen, but it's just closely followed by explosions at military bases deep in Russia as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Russians might have tried to shoot down a missile attack, and it hit that target, and now they're going to blame the Ukrainians. I mean, it's just like anything could possibly be the story behind this one.
Yeah,
anything,
exactly. many things. Exactly. That's why I thought I'd bring it up.
And not only that, it doesn't matter what the actual truth is. Politically, they'll use it in any shape or form that they feel, that it might, put them in a shed them in a better light on them. But yeah,
like Aaron says, some drunk ass Russian tried barbecuing in the restroom for department store. That's true. They do crazy things like that, don't they? Just to start a barbecue in their apartment. Yeah. They do stupid things on that. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just thought I'd bring it up. Apparently, it was reported this morning, but I've only just seen it on my things now anyway, so I don't know. Or this one was at 1:56, so I don't know. There we go. Who knows?
I hope it's people standing up and making their voice heard. But as Freud said, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. You don't know. But I hope so, because stand up and let your government know that they are absolute horrific pieces of shit for what they are doing to Ukraine. Fucking come on, have a backbone, stand up. Fuck.
There's one thing.
Sometimes a cigar is a penis.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah, that wasn't kept a secret either. Funny enough. But there's one thing that kind of occurred to me the other day, right? Was that we've got an organisation within the British military. Now, I'm not suggesting that the British military would be involved in something like that. However, there's been explosions or mysterious explosions at airfields and bases.
Do you mean the SAS?
The SAS, yes, the SAS, the SAS, right? But the thing is that is up their street. That's what the sort of thing they would do, right? But you could be sure as shit that the SAS are involved in Ukraine in some way. I mean, obviously, nobody's going to admit that because the government can't even officially admit
they have
that the SAS even exist.
They fucking have to be. They just, yeah.
Of course they do. But, those sort of things attack, clandestine attacks on infrastructure, military bases and all the rest of it. That's what they do. That's what they're trained to do.
Have you seen Rogue Heroes on BBC?
Yes.
On the BBC iPlayer?
Yes, it was good, that, wasn't it?
It's fucking awesome, isn't it?
It is great. Brilliant. I love it.
You really have to tip your hat to those boys.
Is there a that's what I'm asking. You might know. Is there going to be a 7th episode, or is that the end of the series, or is it going to be another series? Or
I don't know. I haven't heard. They don't talk to me about that sort of thing. So, unfortunately, I would say yes, please, yes, bring it on, because Yeah, there were certain aspects of the show that fucking annoyed me, but the story behind what those guys did was fucking amazing.
It's
and
all
like they say in the opening of the show. Yeah, most of this what we're telling you is true, and it is. Yeah. It's fucking true.
Well, because the whole thing is based on a book that was researched by historian.
It's based on reality.
Yeah, I know, but it's based on it. But the whole thing is started because of a book. It's all come from a book. They dramatized a lot of it, but that's what it's kind of based on. Because if you watch some of the episodes at the beginning, the credits, it said based on the book by whoever the author was. I can't remember who it was.
Because after that show, because I've known some stories from the past year from history stuff, about the SAS. But after the show, I went back to some other channels that actually talk about the actual history, and it was just like just close your eyes. It's the same as the fucking show. It was so true. But anyway, nuts.
You mean to say that the BBC don't talk to you? They don't tell you these things. I thought you had them. I thought you had them all in your pocket. They're all your mates.
Yeah,
and stuff like that,
spinning on my cock. Yeah, no. No, I get told nothing these days.
I thought maybe from some of your mates might be still, I don't know, walking in those realms and stuff.
Yeah. Lots of my mates do, but they don't tell me anything. But
Yeah, it's because you go and tell everybody else. That's why.
Yeah, that's right. I come on this show and say, "Hey, guess what? What's happening next?"
Should we bring up the fact that Iran has now carried out its first execution related to anti-government protests? This is getting out of hand over there. You cannot execute your citizens for disagreeing with you. You're supposed to convince them that you're correct. You backwards-assed fucking motherfucks. Holy God. They're killing their own now openly with it's not just police shooting people to quash rebellion. Now they're taking the arrested and executing them.
Well, they disbanded their the morality police. So I guess what they've just basically done is disbanded them and created the fuck you police.
Yeah. Judge Dredd police. Right?
Yeah. So officially speaking, they don't exist. But they do.
Yeah.
They're just probably called something else now. Yeah.
What a fucking thought. Can you imagine? Okay, I could get arrested for protesting and I might get killed. Do you still protest to help the next generation, like your future children and stuff, have a place they can live and grow up and be free? What a choice that is to put on a human being. It's not, literally, I've said it before, but the UN has got to stop being a members only club and start saying, hey, look, we're there for everybody.
You mean NATO? Because UN
That's it.
basically
Sorry.
has
NATO. Yeah. Sorry. NATO. Yeah.
Well, the UN could do a bit fucking more.
Yeah, but they're just paper writers, right? They just, they talk and file paperwork and have policies and amendments, and otherwise, they're like, like your cops, stop, or I'll blow my whistle and say stop again.
Yeah, exactly. They're supposed to be the upholders of international law, but even UN peacekeepers. What? They don't really seem to achieve anything when they're actually go to these places. They're supposed to be keeping the peace
peacekeepers are there to clean up and help make sure that no fringe elements try to grab control. That's what they do, right? Canada's a big part of the peacekeeping movement, and you actually get a lot of casualties and a lot of bullshit out of it because you have little fucking side groups that think during the madness that went down that they're going to be the one to rise and seize power. Right? That happens a lot more than you might actually think. And you need some troops in there. But, Canadians are not very much about going to be the first aggressors. We're more about being the ones that go, okay, fuck, I guess we have to shut these pricks down. That's kind of our attitude, right?
Yeah.
You know, and plus, it's not like we have the major military of some other nations. I mean, we have a lot of land mass, but we don't have a lot of people. We're not exactly wealthy. You know? Sorry, but it's true. There might be something to be said about us taking this show over to Shills U after and having a bit more of a music fun, you know, chat afterwards. I don't know if you're up, Matt. I'm going to be up for a bit. I don't know about you, DK or Commander, but we're getting close to calling it because
be up.
You know, we gotta be close to calling it. We really have to obey that 2-hour rule on YouTube right now because holy fuck, are they punishing us?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't come here for fun, for fuck's sake.
I've got to get
you,
early
then.
in the morning, so I won't be. Unfortunately, I've got to be up in not too long actually now. So,
but you know, it's 22, and if we do proper roundtables where everybody gets like 3 minutes to express themselves, we're probably pretty close, aren't we, DK? Oh, I did want to bring this up on the stream. This fucking hit me when I found it today, fellow babies. I hope it does for you too. Where did I put that? Just give me 1 second here. I thought this was a fucking powerful image for the modern day. What do you think?
Nice.
What do you think?
Yeah, very good.
It is
Right?
awesome.
Yeah.
Right? I am going to turn this.
I would say her Hulk gloves are the wrong color.
Yeah, they should be green. You're not wrong. You know what? I think we'll do that, DK. Let's do it. Right? But I would love to see this exact woman have just, you know, some Qatari fucking official under the boot of her fucking foot, you know, and just be, you know, holding him by the arm saying, I'm sorry, can I dress how I want? Literally separating his arm from his body as she gives him shit. Oh, that would be good. I know that's a bit vicious, but come on, give me one.
Do you know it's what the kind of this reminds me of along the same sort of lines is, did you ever see that clip of the Palestinian girl, young girl, about, I don't know, she's about 11 or 12, standing up to an Israeli soldier? You remember she was getting right in his face, and screaming at him, and raising it. You remember, you know, it kind of gives you that same sort of like feeling, doesn't it? It's kind of like, get in. You know?
Yeah. I agree there, Matt. That's a good call, man. Good call. Yeah. But yeah, we're gonna do her picture up, and she's gonna be in the back of shot in some of the sets and in the thumbnails and whatnot when we cover Iran. Like, I just love that image, so expect to see it soon. But yeah, so I mean, fuck, I've talked too much. DK, why don't you do the big round table wrap up?
Well, I was gonna bring something up actually, because
then go for it.
Well, you know, because we generally talk about conspiracies and stuff like that. There's actually been an actual real conspiracy going on in the world, and it's been very quiet. Not a lot of information is coming out, but in Greenland, a lot of women have been found. They've been fitted with a birth control coil without their knowledge.
What?
Yes, it's this thing coming out of Greenland where there seems to be birth control going on without people's knowledge.
This is
it's potentially huge, but it's only Greenland, so no one talks about it. It's very quiet, very quiet.
That's some sick, twisted shit, dude. Holy fuck!
So that has actually been going on. I mean, I'm sure it's unconfirmed, but it looks like it has been going on. Then it's not like
I mean, I did post a video about it on the Shills chat, and you know, I think people, you know, not a lot of people watched it, but it's kind of harrowing. But yeah, this is actually seems to be going on in the world, and don't know what to say about it. I've got nothing to say, but you know, it's like, well, there are actually shitty things going on in places. Greenland, for all of the places, you know, we talk about Iran and and Russia and Ukraine. You can understand why shitty things are going on in the world. Greenland.
Greenland? How the fuck is Greenland a hotbed of fucking debauchery? How does that even happen?
Well, not being funny. You should see the women there.
Greenland sacked their government. They literally sacked the government. They said, "No, we don't want you anymore," and they did it. They just all went out and strike. They all went out in the streets because they're not a massive
all 40
population.
of them.
Yeah, this happened to like 10, 15 years ago. They just came out and they just said, "No, get the fuck out." So they did.
Wow.
Just like that. Because apparently there's some corruption going on. They said, "No, we're not having this. So fuck you. You can get out." So
wow.
they did.
That's not normal.
Greenland work in a different way to most of us, I think. There's pretty epic if you ask me, but this is just bizarre.
Well, Aaron Reese in the chat says he will volunteer to do inspections for IUDs free of charge too. Aaron, apparently I've got a massive one in my arsehole. So you can check that
I was just gonna say, when Aaron posted that comment, you could hear the snap of the rubber glove.
I don't want to have any babies anyway, so I'm all right.
It's not what you said to me the other night. Did I just say that out loud? Down, sorry.
So anyway, what we're saying, Nick,
boom. You know what? I'm lost at this point. I think we should wrap up the show. But at this point, now we've blathered on so long, you got to have a quick wrap up. So DKG, give me some thoughts and wrap ups.
Thoughts and wrap-ups. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, well done, son. M2M, what do you got to say for yourself?
Just thank you very much for having a show. And I've set up the live stream for the Splashdown on Sunday, so I hope you can actually join me for that. So I'll post it in the chat again in just a second when I can find a bloody chat window.
I will update the description with that link as well, so you can follow it from here just to make sure you're there. Commander 401, thoughts and wrap-ups.
Great night. Hopefully we'll see you on Shills U. And tomorrow, if I can get access to stable internet, I'm going to be putting out the next Penguin News update. It's about 15 minutes and a sneak preview of the next video where we will be dealing with the bitch fight between Nick Fuentes and Marjorie Taylor Greene. I made a 3D model of a piece of shit that talks.
Now remember, fellow babies, I'm going to give you a little story that can guide you through life. There was a bear and a rabbit. They were having a shit in the woods. The bear looked down at the rabbit and said, "Hey, do you have problems with shit sticking to your fur?" The rabbit looked up at the bear and said, "No." So the bear wiped his ass with the rabbit. Good night.
It's over. Go home.